Welcome everybody to part 2 of this video about meditation and a certain type of meditative concept that I call roles, just to have a name for it. In part 1, we talked about what generally is meant with roles, and the last sentence that I said in this when the video stopped was in order to make this role thing work. In order to make this role thing work, you have to define the thing you're thinking about, and in this at this point it does not matter for yourself too much what the truth is, because what your mind and body is looking for is the role, the position that you gain. So you wanna achieve a certain position, and we use these thinking in roles very much on daily basis, like every day. We use this being in roles. It's something very important for the way we are. So, but there's two points to this. The first point is it makes you not see the truth, because you don't want to see the truth because you want to live a certain role. And the second thing, and the more important thing, is if you understand the concept that is behind the idea that you every time try to be in a certain role, like every minute you try to be in a role, the things you talk about are therefore getting you into a certain attitude. And when you understand that you're looking for the attitude, then you come to understand that this is a very, very powerful concept for meditation. It's a very powerful concept because you will not be dependent on having certain things to get your attitude towards them. Because, of course, these attitudes, these positions towards the things, you can much more easily you can produce yourself much more precisely. You can have a much more precise attitude towards things. The attitude that we talked about in the first part of this video was that you might be against something that's commonly believed to be good. So you know it's wrong. It is not wrong, but you produce the effect of thinking that it's wrong, and then you are like, huh. You see, I know this. It's that feeling, that attitude you create for yourself. But if you see that you're looking for the attitude, then you can much more easily produce a similar attitude. You could just pretend an attitude like that. I could just, without needing any topic to stand against, I can just say, yeah, I understand this. Other people don't. I could just pretend that, and it will give me the same attitude. And at this point, when you go like this, producing your own attitude, you can easily shift these attitudes or modify them. I could go like, yeah, I know that. I could just pretend and say, yeah, I know that. Okay. Without there being anything that I know, I can just recreate this attitude, this role. I know, and I just go like, I know that, and I could say, might add what I want. I'm very glad that I know that. Oh, okay, even better. Or I'm really the only person that knows that. Okay. Or whatever you want. Okay, like for example, you could think, okay, I share this that I know this with many friends. Oh, gives you this attitude. So it's not the point that you want to break this thinking in attitudes. That's not absolutely necessary. But it's important or a good thing for you, for the way you act, or the way you the way you are, in a meditational sense. It's very important to understand that very often, actually always, you want to be in an attitude. You want to have an attitude. So it's actually necessary not to draw your attitudes without knowing that you just go and tell yourself things that you see in life in order to achieve an attitude. You rather know, okay, I want to have attitudes, and I don't need them from the information that I get. So you can just build them up by yourself, by pretending, acting those roles without having a reason for that. And then you can modify them. So the first thing that happens is you don't have to define things wrongly, as we talked about in part 1. You don't have to define things in order to get something. So you're more able to see the truth, not blocking yourself from understanding the true facts. And the second thing that happens is you can, as I said, create those attitudes more precisely to what attitude you really want to have. So having an attitude is not a problem. That's what we look for, and it's good for us. It's a normal thing. You will always have an attitude in your acting. So why not take one? If you have one anyways and you say, I don't want one, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about creating your attitude yourself. Like, yeah. For example, like if you want to relax, like I'm relaxed. Like I relax now in an instant. Like if you want to be happy and excited, you create. So it's important. It's an important concept to understand that very often, you're looking for just having the position and not talking about actual facts. So this is a very powerful concept, and it's very, very widespread. Lately there has been a lot of racism and hate against foreigners in the world. Like, people are starting to vote for right-wing parties where the politicians say things like, foreigners must stay out of our country, they're destroying our culture and stuff, which is wrong. Which is absolutely wrong. It's wrong to say they are not destroying our culture. What is our culture? Culture is a grown thing. The culture, if they change the culture, then this will be our culture. That's not the point. And they bring good culture, as I always say. The people in these countries in Syria and these other countries, they named these neighboring countries. They named the stars when in Europe we still sat on the trees. That's what I usually say. They have a very old culture of math and stuff. There's a very great culture that comes to us there. If you go like, all people from these Middle Eastern countries have a bad culture, a very wrong, stupid culture, then you would be completely mistaken. They bring a great culture with them. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is, if you go, and many people do, and say, yeah, these foreigners are bad for our country, then you take a role. It's absolutely the same principle. You don't, you don't, you don't think that they have a bad culture because you have facts. The facts tell you that their culture is good. You just have to read. You just have to read about what they do. Even if people come to you, if people come to you and give you information like that they are criminals and stuff, then you might take this information and believe it and say, okay, they are criminals because I can read it here, and people will write lies about these things. And if you read them, if you really look for a lot of information about these countries, then you will always find that they are not more criminals than we are. Like, other peoples are no more criminals than we are. And they don't, what you say, treat women bad. That's a common thing to say about these countries. That's not the it might happen there, but it also happens in our countries, and it's not a general thing. It's not a general thing that you can say about these countries. And the fact is, the person that comes to your country from another country is not a gang member, as politicians put it, which is very, very evil. What politicians do is say, those are all gang members. They come to steal. That's a very bad thing. If people come to your country, then trust me, they come because they have a problem. Nobody wants to leave his home. It's their home. They love it. They respect it. If they come to another country, then they have got a real problem. Those are people who seek help. They very much need help. And like, absolutely nearly all of them are nice and good people. That are the facts. But still, people tell you lies because they see an advantage. They tell you lies. They say they are bad people. They come to this country and they are bad people, and they're going to destroy our culture, our great culture. They're going to destroy it, and they are thieves and whatnot. And you take it and read it, and you say, that's true. You go like, that's true. They gotta get out of our country. They're gonna destroy what I have. And the reason why you do that is because you want the attitude. It does not matter if the facts are thin, because those are lies. That what you read are lies about that. Still, many people believe it, and they go like in this angry mode of saying, yeah, I'm trying to imitate this mode for you again. I'm trying to imitate this role so that you can see what I'm talking about. Like, take a look at how I behave, not what I think about the facts. Take a look at how I behave. Yeah, they gotta get out. It's my country. You're aggressive. That gives, you're looking for that power, that adrenaline, that feeling of you having something that other people don't have. You being the one who's higher than the others. Maybe the feeling of being in a group with your fellow countrymen that is better than other people. Yeah, they are gang members. They are criminals. You feel that you are not a criminal, because other people are. That makes you better. So they have to get out. That's and then people ask these racist people, is it really what you think? Is it really what you think that all facts say that they are not bad people? They come here for help. All facts say that. If you really look at the facts, do you really think they are bad? And people stay in that role. Yes, they are bad. You can see it. Everybody knows it. So you are. No, you take this. You're looking for the attitude. All racist people are looking for the attitude. So if you are of the attitude of racism, or thinking that foreigners destroy your culture or should not come to this country or taking something away from you, it is absolutely wrong. All the people, most of the media all religion, all people tell you, you are mistaken. That those are absolutely, to the most part, very nice people who just need help. Like everybody tells you that. You hear it from everywhere. But only if you have a racist circle of friends who repeat these things to you. But they are also just in a role. They just take this attitude of going, no, I don't want it. We have to be strong now. We have to be a group. It's that attitude that you're looking for. Nothing else. So, as soon as you realize that, trust me, the facts absolutely tell you that those are not bad people, but the real facts. But you just go and deliberately to take this role, you start reading the wrong facts. You start believing the wrong facts because you need your mind subconsciously creates the image of the bad immigrant or the bad other race so that you define this thing in a bad way so that you yourself stand with the attitude that you want to have, which in this case is a strength, a being better off, a being better in general, a being not a thief, a being of a higher culture. All these things, it's more. It's not only things that you can describe. It's also a thing that happens in your whole body. It's a thing of some adrenaline and other things in your body that you go like, yeah, huh? Look at me, huh? I'm strong. That's the only thing that your body and your mind in this case is looking for. But if you understand that, you can easily go like, wait, I don't need the outside world to give me a feeling like that. And you go like, okay, from zero, from seemingly no attitude, you have an attitude all the time, but from seemingly no discernible attitude that you have, you go like, I hate bad people. They're not good. They're all stupid. You can do that without having a real world group of people you point to. You can get your attitude out of nowhere. And in this case, you can also break your attitude. Also, this attitude that I just pretended was this. It was absolutely the same attitude. It gave me the same body, the same body feelings. That is an idea of completely controlling the way you are. You cannot allow yourself to, without thinking or knowledge, be tossed between those emotional states, between these attitudes towards things. You are tossed. Like, your body wants those things and you create them. So that makes you have them without knowing what you do, and that makes you think that you maybe are against religion, or it makes you think that you are a racist, or that other races are bad. It makes you think that, but you're only looking for the attitude. So look at me as I control my attitude. I take time for that. You see me sit, lower my head. You see me take a breath. You see me think of nothing. Like, actually I'm not doing nothing. Actually I'm very well trained, because I train myself, like, since years. I train myself to have attitudes to by just creating them, by faking them. So over the years I learned which attitudes I want, how I can modify them very slightly. So I'm trying not to be tossed. I'm trying not to think things because of the attitude that I get towards that. I try to keep myself, whatever I hear, whatever information I hear, I try to stand towards that information quite not too much affected, and rather create my own attitude, body attitude or role, as I call it, for the sake of explaining what I mean. So I make this myself. See here, a friendly attitude. That helps you because you wanna. Yeah, it helps because that is a basic form of meditation. You can do do things of the mind or of the body like more easy when you first off start with what you are and how you are. So that's why and that's what I meant when I started the video. It's not gonna be easy to understand. This thing is quite easy, but practicing, giving yourself an attitude or refining attitudes slightly, like having them the way you want them, that's the thing that takes years of practice. But first, it's necessary to understand that all the time we are looking for attitudes with the things we talk about. That's the thing we crave, like, what attitude can I get from that? And we don't think about it, we don't notice. It just, we think we are really racist. For example, if you are, what you better are not. But we think that's the truth. We think we read the facts and that's what we are. And that's what we believe. But usually it's not. Usually it's just not what you believe. Usually you need the attitude. All the people who go on the streets, oh, no foreigners, they are looking for the attitude. That's hard to break because even if you tell them the facts, they won't believe them because they are not looking for the facts. They are looking for the attitude. So you don't look for the attitude. You create your attitude yourself without any facts or anything around you. That was why I'm making this video. It's the importance and the power that understanding this concept brings for your daily life. Because you can, if you understand that you always want certain attitudes without noticing, you can make your own attitudes.